Brilliant, isn't it? Well, for the next 2 weeks, we are going to show you all the highlights of us at Naka-Kon and Planet Comicon out here in Kansas City and Overland Park. This is the Gaming Wildlife Foundation. So, you're some sort of an underwater scuba man.
Indeed I am.
And what is this apparatus that you're wearing?
This is a Big Daddy suit from a game called Bioshock.
Bioshock. Is that some sort of a electric water game, I assume?
Not quite.
Not quite. Well, what can you tell me about the game Bioshock? Like, why wear this costume?
Well, the setting takes place deep underwater.
So you are able to breathe underwater then?
Indeed I am.
Fascinating. And the whole game takes place underwater.
Indeed, but there is an underwater city called Rapture.
Fascinating. So, why wear this costume? Why choose this as a cosplay? Why do Bioshock and not something else?
Well, personally, it's one of my favorite games. It's got a very unique theme to it, and the overall mood to it is very dark and mysterious, and I don't know, I guess it's just quite unique to me, and it caught my eye.
Well, the one thing that we like to do with our series is we like to look at gamers and the personality types that they have. So, would you tell us a little bit about your gaming personality type? Like, who are you when you play video games?
Well, I personally enjoy RPGs and things that have a unique theme to them, and they're something new and have a twist to maybe old stories and such things like that.
Now, I've never met you before.
Shut up, Charles.
How dare you say that to me? You are a rude individual, and the only reason that I am ever friends with you is because our director likes you for some reason. Can you figure out why that is?
It's because I coordinate the Let's Plays.
You don't coordinate the Let's Plays. He's the one who coordinates the Let's Plays.
Well, I'm on the frickin' ticket as the Let's Play coordinator.
Oh, boo-hoo. That was just something for us to give you to, just enhance yourself, to make yourself feel better. Now, what are you wearing exactly? Tell us about your cosplay.
It's just Sonic shirt.
Well, it looks like it's a blue dolphin thing. Can you tell me about the blue dolphin thing?
It's a hedgehog.
A hedgehog.
He runs really fast.
Shouldn't it have a whole bunch of spikes on it?
Your mom has a whole bunch of spikes on it.
You're rude. Wait, didn't we do an episode about this? We did a two-parter about this.
You should know. I wasn't there.
Yes, but you've seen the whole series. You're our biggest fan, and we appreciate having you as such a good fan.
Not true. I'm just the rage gamer on Gaming Wildlife.
I don't think so. The Rage Gamer was a lot shorter, a lot fatter, and had no beard. So you're a pirate.
Oh, I'm the pirate. I'm Captain Jack Sparrow, mate.
Captain Jack Sparrow. You have something to do with the Ravens, then?
No, Ravens, no. I do have something to do with the Black Pearl, though, mate.
Black Pearl. And what is the Black Pearl?
Oh, it's a grand ship. And Barbossa took it from me from a bit of mutiny of sorts.
Oh. So he was your first mate at the time, then?
Sort of, and then he turned on me, like, so... If you see him around, do warn me, though.
Oh, that's awful. I would think I would think that you would want to actually look near the sea, because we're in Kansas right now. There's not a whole lot of water around here.
Bloody hell, how did we get in Kansas?
To be completely honest, I don't know how I got here either.
Perhaps there's some sort of river I got swept up in.
Some sort of...
Oh, they had a lot of rain just recently. Rain or snow. One of the two.
Oh, yes. There's definitely been a lot of snow, but I mean, there is a river nearby, but I'm not sure if it leads to the ocean. Were you in the ocean or some sort of a sea?
I don't know. Somebody said they saw me in the Wild West for a moment. I don't know.
West. Fascinating. You appear to be all over the place.
That's what they say. Yes.
So you look like you're in a full army outfit. What is all this for exactly? Are we expecting some sort of trouble from Middle Easterners or something?
Nah, they're called Covenants. We fight the Covenant in space.
Ah, Covenant. So it's some sort of a Covenant army then of space-dwelling creatures. That's a thing that's totally going to come and attack us, right?
Yes, and I will be able to hunt them down and track them down.
And what's your name?
I'm Master Chief.
Master Chief. Master Chief, well, my first name is Master Charles. It's nice to meet you. Oh my. Nice pistols you've got there. Now, what kind of caliber are those? Is that 10 millimeter, 9 millimeter, or?
They're like 10 millimeter.
Very nice. And do you get to see a lot of combat, Mr. Chief?
Yes, I do.
And who is your primary villain when you're out fighting all those wars and villains?
It's the Covenants, the aliens. We shoot them a lot, and we try to save Earth. And one of the Covenants are working with us, and one of the good guys. So I'm glad he's on our side.
Of course, you're the good guys because war is black and white like that, right?
Right.
Absolutely. Fascinating. So you two are from the Star Wars films, am I correct?
Yes, we are. Correct.
So, what are your characters' names?
I am Boba Fett.
And?
I am Lord Vader.
Lord Vader. Fascinating. Now, there's a lot of Star Wars games. Am I correct in thinking that?
Yes.
Now, what would you say if you were to pick one Star Wars game that stands out above all the others? What would you say is your favorite one?
Knights of the Old Republic. Star Wars Monopoly.
Fascinating. Absolutely fascinating. That looks absolutely threatening. Would you mind threatening me with that blaster for just a
I
second?
have no problem doing that.
All right. Apparently he just... Oh, no, he's running with it. Well... So after a long time of searching, apparently we've actually found two real gamers here. So what are your names?
Franky Mish.
All right, so the two of you are gamers. What kind of games do you usually like to play?
I'm actually a board gamer. I prefer tabletop and board games to video games. And I play games like Arkham Horror. I also play D&D and Shadowrun.
So D&D is what? And what does that stand for?
Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh yes, I do believe we did an episode about that. And what kind of games do you typically like to play?
Generally, I like the more role-play type video games. I'm a big fan of the Legend of Zelda games.
I believe we've heard a lot of that Zelda character, the young man in the tunic. He does seem like a very nice individual.
Yeah, he's trying to save a princess.
Yes.
I mean, can't
Although-
be a bad guy.
Yeah, well, I would say that he's definitely on par with that Halo individual, the man in the full green outfit, I believe.
I don't know who that is.
Have you ever played that game about the young lady in the full bodysuit Metroid? Have you ever played the game about Metroid?
Have not.
No. Well, I've heard all of these are very popular games within the gaming community. I just thought I would ask you about some questions. So, one thing we like to do with this show is we like to really look at the gamers' personalities, the kind of person that you are when you play video games and how that influences the games that you play. So, could you describe your gamer personality to us?
I am a very goofy person. I like to talk a lot of smack and I like to wear costumes.
So you're a cosplayer.
No, I like to wear a cape when I play Dungeons and Dragons.
So you add a superhero element to it then.
No, it's a cloak. Like I'm a dark elf, so I'm evil. I have to look evil when I'm playing, and I make up voices, and it's fun.
All right then, she's evil then. That's disturbing. And what would you say is your gamer personality?
I try to do things the opposite of my normal personality, so it's very, very loud, upbeat, very risk taker. Risk taker. Yeah.
Very much so. Oh, thank you two very much. Wow. We'll be. I will hit you so hard. All right, so we're finally sitting down with some real gamers playing some non-video elements of games. And what is your name, sir?
Joe King.
Joe?
You're joking.
Ah. It's funny. What kind of game are you playing here?
This is Cosmic Encounter. It's an old game from the 80s that pretty much forces you to be a dick to each other. It's pretty great.
Sounds
It
amazing.
Inspired Magic the Gathering.
Oh, really?
So, yeah.
I believe we were going to do a future episode about Magic at some point. So how do you play this game exactly?
All right, so there is a stack of cards called race cards, right?
Mm-hmm.
And each race, there's about 90 different races. You randomly choose one, and each race is a power that breaks the game. So, for example, this is warpish. So whenever a ship gets destroyed, it goes to the warp. And my power makes it to where every ship that's been destroyed counts as my ship every time I go into battle.
And so you have a set number of ships that you start the game with?
Yeah, you can only use 4 ships in an encounter. But I get to use all of them. Every one that's been destroyed, plus my 4 ships, plus my attack card. So that's an example.
All right. Well, what other games do you typically like to play, like tabletop-wise?
Yggdrasil is a good one. It's like Viking mythology, and you have to fight back Norse gods. You know, that's a good one. Last Night on Earth, Terror from Outer Space, and The Hunger is a great game because you can combine all 3, and it's almost like D&D, except with zombies, werewolves, and aliens.
Fascinating.
One of the characters is a dancing bear. Yeah.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah.
Well, one of the things that we really like to ask people is we like to get into the mindset of the game, get into the personality types of people. So what would you say is your gaming personality type when it comes to the video games you play or the tabletop games you play?
I'm a power gamer, for sure.
And what does that entail exactly?
I like with Warhammer 40K, it's the Necrons. With Mech Assault, it's the Atlas. I always pick the most overpowered character, and just because I don't have the skill to do anything else, you know.
But typically the overpowered character has some sort of a drawback that makes you not want to pick them right away.
Right, and I just go straight for it.
Just go straight for it. Fascinating. And how does that influence the games that you play?
I'm not really sure. I don't know.
All right.
I can't answer that.
So we've got here a couple of gamers playing Magic the Gathering. I remember our director saying that he wanted to do an episode like that. We might see that come in the future. So, gentlemen, can you tell me a little bit about the game you're playing?
We just started. I just attacked him with Cartel Aristocrat with Mark of the Vampire on it, so now he has a 4/4. That's if I sacrifice another creature, it gains protection from one color from the end of the turn, so he blocked with his Rakdos Cackler, now it's dead.
Oh, okay. So, what would you say is your gamer personality type when it comes to the games, tabletop, video, or whatever that you usually like to play?
Well, I kind of like to troll people and play stuff that makes them angry.
I believe there's a term for that in Magic. It's called hate. You like to play hate decks. And what kind of arrangement are you playing here? What is the name of this deck, and what's its style?
Well, I just call it a checkerboard because white black, and it's really fast moving deck because everything's low cost. The highest cost is a 5 drop. And it's got a nice amount of mana, so I pretty much have 5 mana by 5 turns into the game.
Very nice. And what is your name?
Corbin.
Corbin. And what's your name, sir?
David.
David. And David, what could you tell us about your gamer personality type?
To be honest, I've almost quite literally just started all this tabletop board games today. But for video game preferences, I'd say I'm like stay back and shoot people from a distance.
So you're more of a support character then. Yeah. Okay. And how does that influence the kind of games that you like to play?
It basically allows me to assist and my allies on the field while I'm playing like Battlefield 4 and all that.
So I'm here with another gaming web series, apparently. These guys are called Project Nerds. So what is your show about?
Well, I mean, we've got a little bit of everything. We're just, like you said, we're nerds. We do reviews around comic books, TV shows, movies, video games, books. We do a weekly podcast. We syndicate some other podcasts. We go to conventions like this one and meet and interview artists, collaborators, cosplay guys, and then just post stuff on our blog, and just a little bit of everything nerdy. If it's nerdy in any way, shape, or form, we're probably into it in some way or another.
Fascinating. So you two are really into the whole gamer culture kind of mindset.
Yeah, to an extent, I would say so. Yeah.
And you understand more films and
right.
stuff. From
movies and videos and things like that, yes.
Well, one thing that we're really interested in is getting into the mindsets of gamers and how gamers like really think and stuff. So what would you say is your personality type when it comes to video games?
Personality type when it comes to video games? I'm definitely the loner type. I'll sit and play an RPG by myself, non-multiplayer for hours and hours on end. I mean, I'll play the multiplayer here and there, but I'm the guy who shuts himself in his room and doesn't speak to people and plays video games. So.
Fair enough. And are you into video games at all?
Yeah, I'm just, I'm into video games. I'm pretty much just the shooter games. I don't really, get online with other people to do it. And I get to a point in a game and I'm like, get really tired. And I said, okay, let's go try a new game.
So you're one of those people who don't actually finish games all that often.
Exactly.
Oh yes, I've encountered far too many of those from what I've traveled. Well, one of the things I thought would be interesting is how do you say that your personality type, how does it determine what video games that you play?
I mean, I guess if it's fairly nerdy, if it's sci-fi, if it's fantasy, that's probably something I'm going to pick up and at least try. So.
And see, and I look for action. I also look, for sports. I'm one of the guys that will do like Mario and stuff like that before I probably get so far into Halo. Just because it's just a simple side scroller that I can handle pretty easy.
And if people wanted to find out about Project Nerd, where could they go? And once again, reiterate, what kind of things are Project Nerd doing right now?
So right now we're in the middle of our con season. Kansas City is actually our first con of the year. We'll also be at Denver Comicon and C2E2 in Chicago later this year. But if you want to find out about any of our podcasts, our reviews, our articles, any of the places we're going to be, you just go to project-nerd.com. It's project-nerd.com. We're also on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. All the social media, we're out there somewhere. But you can check up on where we're going to be later this season for the cons, read content, listen to our podcast, listen to one of the many syndicated podcasts we have. I mean, we have one specifically just around a game called Who's That Pokepod? 3 friends of ours. It's all about Pokemon all the time, all day. So.
And of course, if your Project Nerd friends are watching this, they should absolutely check out our show, Gaming Wildlife, at gamingwildlife.net and youtube.com/gamingwildlife. So unfortunately, that's all the footage we could show you from Planet Comicon. But for our next episode, we'll show you a bit of a different experience as we go to Naka-Kon. We'll see you next time.
wandering about. I do tend to wander about the cities, and no one mocked me, and I thought, well, that's a good way. If no one mocks you, I mean, it must be a pretty good city.
Did you have a lot of fun goofing off on set with like the spoons and the magic tricks and stuff?
I never goof. How dare you say I goof? I'm very professional.